Single dad delivers food to wrong address. It's a mansion owned by a lonely woman billionaire. It was a cold Friday evening, and Alex Carter had just picked up one last food delivery before heading home to his 8-year-old daughter, Lily. Being a single dad wasn't easy, especially when juggling 2 jobs, but Lily's smile made it all worth it. The GPS glitched halfway through the route, rerouting him through winding upscale hills far outside his usual zone. He double-checked the address, 37 Hawthorne Ridge. It didn't match the app, but the system insisted it was the correct drop-off. So, with a tired sigh and a shrug, Alex pulled up to what looked more like a palace than a house. The mansion stood behind a black iron gate, its windows glowing softly in the twilight. He hesitated before ringing the bell at the pedestrian gate. Seconds later, the gate buzzed open. He made his way to the front door, clutching the bag of Thai food, still confused. The door opened before he could knock. Standing there was a woman, in her early 40s, dressed in a cashmere sweater, jeans, and no makeup, just natural elegance. She blinked, surprised. "Hello." Alex looked at the order ticket. "Sorry, I think there's been a mix-up. Did you order pad Thai with extra peanuts?" She chuckled, the sound warm but faintly sad. "No, but come in, it's freezing." He hesitated again but stepped inside. "I'm Evelyn Hart," she said, gesturing to a living room that looked like something out of a movie. Huge windows, piano, fireplace flickering. "Alex, sorry about the intrusion." "No, please," she said, smiling gently. "It's kind of, nice. I haven't had a visitor in ages. I usually eat alone." She motioned to the food. "You might as well join me, since someone out there is missing their dinner." He was about to politely decline when his phone buzzed. "Order canceled, due to wrong address. No refund, no tip." "Great," his stomach growled, betraying him. "I guess, if you don't mind." That evening turned into a 2-hour conversation. Evelyn asked about his daughter, his work, his dreams. He told her how he used to be a sous chef before the pandemic, how Lily loved drawing animals, how life was hard but beautiful with her in it. Evelyn listened like no one had in years. She shared how she had built a tech empire in her 20s, how success gave her everything except companionship. No family left, no one to eat with, no one to talk to who didn't want something from her. "You're the first person to talk to me like a human," she admitted quietly, "not like a brand." Over the next few weeks, Evelyn started accidentally ordering takeout to the wrong address more often. Each time Alex would show up, they'd talk, laugh, and sometimes Lily would come along, too, her eyes wide at the mansion, but quickly growing fond of Miss Evelyn. One day Evelyn showed up outside the small apartment where Alex lived, unannounced. "I have a question," she said. He blinked, holding Lily's backpack in one hand. "Okay. Do you want your old dream back?" He frowned. "What? You're a chef, and I have a restaurant space sitting empty in the city. Let's reopen it. You run it. I fund it. No strings. Except one. You name a dessert after your daughter." 6 months later, Lily and Hearth opened to quiet acclaim. A cozy bistro tucked in a quiet corner of the city. It was filled with warmth. Food made with soul and a secret story behind its creation. And in the corner booth nearly every night sat Evelyn, no longer lonely, because this time she'd found something richer than success. A family that had accidentally found her door. And stayed. Evelyn Hart didn't realize how hungry she was, not for food, but for life, until Alex and Lily began appearing regularly. What started as chance evolved into something deeper. She found herself looking forward to their visits. Lily's drawings now decorated Evelyn's once sterile fridge, and her mansion felt alive, not with noise, but with warmth. With family. Opening Lily and Hearth wasn't easy. Alex had doubts. "I'm just a delivery guy," he said one night, standing outside the dark restaurant space Evelyn owned. "No," she said firmly. You're a chef who forgot who he is. With her encouragement, he got his food license reinstated. She brought in a design team, but only after consulting him. He chose the layout, the open kitchen concept, even the reclaimed wood tables. I want it to feel like home, he said. Like people matter here. And it did. On opening night, the first dish served was Lily's lemon chicken, her favorite, and dessert. Heart and soul brownies, a nod to Evelyn and the heart she'd put into giving someone else a second chance. Word spread quickly. Food blogs called it unexpected, authentic, and comfort food redefined. But what touched people most was the story, the humble single dad, the lonely billionaire, and the restaurant they created not for fame, but for connection. Evelyn never gave interviews, but when a journalist snuck in and asked if she was the mysterious investor, she simply said, "I just wanted a good meal with people who cared." As weeks passed, Evelyn and Alex grew close, not rushed, not romantic yet, but there was something there. A tenderness in the way they looked at each other, a calm understanding between two people who had lost much, and were finally gaining something real. One rainy evening, Evelyn stayed late at the restaurant while Alex and Lily cleaned up. Lily climbed onto the bar stool and yawned. "Miss Evelyn." "Yes, sweetheart." "Are you my fairy godmother?" Alex chuckled, but Evelyn's eyes misted. "No," she said softly. "I think you're mine." One quiet morning, Alex handed her a small envelope, nothing fancy. Inside was a menu draft, handwritten. "Check the last page," he said nervously. At the bottom, under the new brunch menu, was a note. "Will you be our family for real? Love, Alex and Lily." "Yes, this counts as a proposal." She laughed, then cried. "Yes," she whispered, 1,000 times, "yes." 2 years later, Lily and Hearth became one of the most beloved spots in the city, not because of luxury or prestige, but because of its story. People came for the food and stayed for the feeling. At the back corner table, every Sunday evening, sat a family of 3, the girl with curly hair and a sketchbook, the man who remembered how to dream again, and the billionaire who realized she didn't need to be alone anymore. Together, they had built something richer than wealth. They had built home with the success of Lily and Hearth. Evelyn found herself yearning to give more, not just to Alex and Lily, but to the world that had, somehow, given her a second chance through them. It was Lily's idea. One afternoon, while sketching in the sunny garden behind Evelyn's mansion, Lily looked up and asked, "Why don't we make this a real garden? Like, where people can come and pick flowers? Or grow food if they're hungry?" Evelyn blinked, surprised. "You mean like a public garden?" Lily nodded. "Dad says not everyone has a backyard, but you do, and yours is big." Alex, watering the roses nearby, overheard. "She's got a point." Evelyn smiled. Then it settled. Within 3 months, Lily's garden was born in open community space, built on a portion of Evelyn's sprawling property. There were raised vegetable beds, a greenhouse, picnic areas, and even a corner for kids to plant their own flowers with hand-painted signs. Families came from all over to visit. It wasn't charity, it was belonging, but not everyone approved. Evelyn's estranged brother, Charles, a hard-nosed businessman, reappeared after 10 years of silence. He showed up at the mansion unannounced. "I heard about the restaurant, and the garden, and this chef you're involved with," he said, voice dripping with judgment. Alex, who answered the door, remained polite but firm. "She's not alone anymore," Charles scoffed. "You think this little food fairy tale will last? She's a billionaire. You're a nobody." Before Alex could respond, Evelyn stepped in. "You're wrong, Charles. I was lonely with money. Now I have peace with less." Alex gave me something no one ever did: truth, family, and that makes him everything. Charles, stunned, left in silence. He never returned, and Evelyn didn't regret a thing. The day of the wedding arrived unexpectedly during a spring thunderstorm. The elegant garden ceremony had to be moved inside Lily and Hearth, now decorated with candles, fresh peonies, and string lights that Lily helped hang. Evelyn walked down the aisle in a simple, ivory dress, barefoot beside Lily, who carried a bouquet of wildflowers. Alex stood near the kitchen, nervous in his suit but smiling like he'd won the lottery. They didn't exchange elaborate vows, just the truth. "I thought I had everything," Evelyn said softly, "but you showed me what everything really means." Alex took her hands. "You gave me more than a second chance. You gave Lily a place to belong, and me someone to believe in." And in that tiny restaurant, surrounded by the clatter of love and laughter, they were married not in front of royalty or the press, but in front of the people who mattered. Years later, Lily and Hearth expanded to 2 more cities, but Evelyn never moved out of the old mansion. Instead, she renovated the guest house into Alex's test kitchen, turned the pool house into an art studio for Lily, and kept the garden blooming year-round. Every Friday night, the 3 of them still gathered around the restaurant's back table. Just a chef, a billionaire, and a little girl who unknowingly brought them together. They never talked about how it started, because it didn't matter anymore that the food delivery had gone to the wrong address. It had gone exactly where it needed to.